So, good afternoon, everyone.
Hi, sir. Good afternoon.
Good afternoon.
Good afternoon.
Hi, good afternoon, everyone.
Good
This
afternoon.
is Suchitra from 𝐿𝐻𝐼𝐬𝐼𝐻.
Hi, Suchitra. Anybody who has any time, issue, want to go early or whatever? Want to join
Sanjay,
this?
I would like to just go in early, if you don't mind.
Yeah, sure. You lost a lot of weight, huh?
No, I put on weight.
I thought maybe because second season of Shark Tank has come, so you're getting ready.
Pasina aa gaya. Ek season. It's been good. It's been good. Good traction we are also getting because of Shark Tank season.
It's very nice. Did you send me that message? Tell me now, no problem.
Yeah, sure, I've shared it.
Actually, Sanjay,
Hi,
this has been
Shailesh.
reached out to more than 5,000 views, right?
Hi, Sanjay. How are you?
Hi. Yes, sure, 5,000.
Yes.
5,500, something like that. Usually, association reach out to 5 million or 50 million, but we are only 5,000. Because
We are just on the race right now.
Yeah, we are new.
Very short time, I think. Very sure we will be there, I guess. There's no doubt about it.
We have another half a minute to go, and then we start. We have around 2 o'clock. Good afternoon, everyone. There are about 50 people in the room, and it's a pleasure to welcome you all. My name is Sanjay Sethi. I hope you are able to hear me well. I'm the Executive Director of Plant-Based Foods Industry Association, and very happy to welcome you all on our first masterclass, and this one is on plant-based meat. And we will also have soon another masterclass on plant-based dairy, as well as later on a similar interaction on ingredients as well. So it's a great pleasure. It's the month of January, so wish you a very happy new year to everyone. So when we say January, we think about veganuary. So veganuary is the best campaign which is happening all over the world, and also in India. You must have seen that there was a challenge thrown to Rishi Sunak, the Prime Minister of UK, to remain vegan for the month of January, and you get $1 million for charity. So this is what a wonderful idea it is, and I hope Rishi Sunak wins this challenge. And I really wish him good luck. So Veganuary is represented in India by a very exciting team, very able team led by Shant. And also in this panel, we have Mahima Purohit. We can start with you.
Hi, thank you, Mr. Sanjay. Thank you, everybody. Thanks for the opportunity. It's great to have everybody from the plant-based meat industry here. I'll not take a lot of time. A lot of you may have already heard of Veganuary. So we're a global nonprofit based out of UK, and we have become a global movement where lakhs of people across the world and in India are trying vegan. And when they do that, we offer them tons of support through a very relevant curated content that anybody who tries vegan for the first time would find valuable. So which is recipes, cookbooks, meal plans, and a whole lot of support through our community. And as we do this, we also work with brands like yourselves, restaurants, retailers, and this is the time when these audiences are, they are seen, they read about Veganuary in the media. They see relevant audiences. They see relevant celebrities talking about veganism in general, and that's what inspires them to try vegan. And this opens a very big marketing opportunity for brands like yourselves to reach these audiences. It's a free opportunity, and we want you to take advantage of this. How you do this is if you're launching any new products or if you're offering any exciting discounts on your existing vegan products, Veganuary is a place where you can reach these audiences for free. How you do it is I'm going to share a link to our special offers page. I'll leave it in the chat here. And when you do that, on veganuary.com, all the brands, restaurants who are running offers are listed there. So it's a great, biggest opportunity to reach out to relevant audiences. So I'd invite you all to do that. And this time we're exceptionally very excited about Veganuary receiving a lot of attention from media, from people who are participating. So if you happen to be flipping through Bombay Times just this Saturday, we had a full-blown coverage where the newspaper talked about our campaign, the celebrities getting involved with us, the brands, the alternatives. So so that happened. Even on Swiggy Instamart, we had a collection of focused on Veganuary. It was called Veganuary, where products like plant-based meats and other alternatives were linked and they were discounted. So big brands are now with us. We have Nature's Basket, Big Basket, and other players like Epigamia, Baskin Robbins, etc., who are joining the movement. So I urge you all to reach out and get in touch with me, and not miss out on reaching free audiences through Veganuary. That's it for me. Thank you. If you have any questions, I'll also leave my number and email address in the link. So do reach out.
Thank you, Mahima. It's a pleasure, and wish you all the very best for the Veganuary campaign. And I hope this will go richer and richer, bigger and bigger. Veganuary is our partner for plant-based Navratri campaign. And our next edition of plant-based Navratri will start on 22nd of March. We'll go up to 31st of March. You are welcome to participate, support in this campaign. We will have more campaign partners this time. We will have Animal Save Organization and also Vegan Outreach also supporting us this time. And of course, Business World is already there. And so this is the time to introduce my colleagues on this panel. Before I start bringing in the speakers, what an amazing lineup of speakers today. it is fantastic. We have 15 speakers and one after another. You're going to be absolutely amazed with so much of knowledge, power packed in just 2 hours. And we will bring in one by one. And we don't have time for the delegate introductions this time because we already have close to 100 delegates, and we can't do that. But there will be a chance to ask questions towards the end. And before that, I request Aditi to introduce herself, and then Narhari, and then Tripti, and in the end, Indra, who will also make a brief presentation. Over to you, Aditi.
Sure, sir. Thank you. Hello, everyone. And honestly, very, very proud to see everyone here. And you know what we can do as an industry, it's right here. And all the genius scientists, food technologists, everyone here. So it'll be like a brain massage for all of us probably, and lots to take away. So very, very excited. I'm Aditi Sharma. I am based out of Mumbai and I work with PBFIA as a senior manager. And yeah, looking forward to this conversation and hearing from everyone because all of you have insights to offer that we've never heard before. So yeah, really looking forward to this. Thank you, everyone.
Narhari.
Good morning, everyone. Thank you for joining us today. And myself, Narhari Gupta, I am working as an innovation specialist at the Plant-Based Foods Industry Association. I'm also looking after our members. So currently we have 90 members, and I'm also looking after new member enrollment. So if your company is not yet the member of our association, kindly reach out to me or reach out to Sanjay sir. And yes, wishing you a very happy new year and look forward to this session. Thank you.
Or reach out to anyone or any of our members. It's all the same. Very nice to see you, Pedro. I just saw you, Pedro. Welcome, welcome. So now Tripti.
Hello, everyone. I'm Tripti Sagar. So it's really great pleasure to have all of the experts from the industry here. I work for the PBFIA as an intern at the research and development, currently pursuing my engineering in the food technology. So it's gonna really super exciting to know all from the experts. That's really pleasurable. Welcome on the board.
Indra.
Yes, sir. Thank you. Am I audible?
Yes, yes, yes.
Thank you.
We also have one more colleague, Medha Gupta. She's on leave today. Over to you, Indra.
Yes, I'm sharing my screen. Let me know if it's visible.
And also introduce yourself, Indra.
Sure. Can you guys see my screen?
Yes.
Thank you. So very warm welcome to all of you and also to all of the speakers. So it's really exciting to see so many like experts in one room because I don't think it has ever happened in the industry before. So it's very interesting to see this stellar line of experts in this webinar. And this will be our first webinar, our first masterclass starting off this year. And we are planning to have many more masterclasses because innovation is something that we really need to focus as an industry. So myself, Indra, and I'm working at PBFI as innovation specialist. I'm a food technologist, and the subject is very close to my heart as well. I've done some research on plant-based meat ingredients as well. So, and I really believe that this will be a mind-opening conversation and engagement that we are going to have with all the speakers. So, welcome everyone. I just have a short presentation, and after that, I think we can start. So PBFIA is, I think we all know PBFIA, and we are a CEO-led body, and we are the only apex association in India. And currently we have around 90 members, and we represent the interest of our members, not only nationally, but also internationally at International Plant-Based Foods Working Group. And we have 4 major work streams: policy advocacy, innovation, investment, and supply chain. So these are some of our members, and I hope all of them are very much recognizable in this industry. And we have on a daily scale, we have lot more engagements, and we have lot more interest, and we work towards providing much value to our members, and in all the 4 work streams. And today we'll be focusing on innovation. And we have identified certain problems that will need our focus in 2023. So the first is something related to innovation itself. So currently our products are priced at a really higher premium level, and also we have the tag of being over processed. And of course the taste is, we are trying to mimic, we are trying to be as close as possible to meat, but we are not yet there. So these are some of our primary focus areas at PBFIA as well. And just 1 week has passed in the year, and we have already trying to address it by bringing all of you experts in one room. And we also have other focuses like entrepreneurship development, where we have approached FSSAI to come up with a hand-holding support for all our young entrepreneurs, and also funding. I hope you all had also attended our investors meet last month and were benefited out of it. And also in distribution and consumer awareness, also we are having many programs. So Veganuary is one where we partner with Veganuary to support our members to be there next to the customers, as well as in distribution. We were part of India Food Forum, where we had this great engagement with Reliance Retail. So I'll just give a small brief of what the meeting is going to be about. So we can divide the entire plant-based meat into three units. So first is the protein ingredient itself. So we have various technologies to produce these products, either be isolates or concentrates or hydrolysates. So some technologies that are mostly used in the industry are isoelectric precipitation. And there are upcoming technologies like membrane as well as enzymatic. We have a member, Novozymes, who will be speaking about it in detail as well. And we have air classification. And also we have texturized protein, in which twin screw extrusion is the most common, where we produce texturized vegetable protein either by using a pelletizer or high moisture meat analog by using an extended cooling die. And there are other technologies as well, which are starting to become more and more explored, but are not yet in the level of scalable as of now. But more advances are taking place, like shear cell, 3D printing, and electrospinning. And we have the end product. So these are where some of our brands are also present. Like we make the final end product like nugget or a patty or a finger or something like that. And
Indra, we can take rocket in the first category as well on the protein ingredients side.
Yes.
Both on first and second.
First and second, yes. So we have a lot of interesting players in all of these spaces. Like in ingredient, we have ADM, Cargill, Ingredion, Synthite, KP Manish, Devi Biosolutions, Proion, and Praj. And in texturized protein space, we have 𝐾𝐢𝐬𝐜𝐬𝐿, and also in Institute, we have TDU leading this entire space, and Rocket, B-Wedge, and Meganta. And in end product, we have numerous leading brands like Blue Tribe, Imagine, GREENEST, Let's West, Continental Greenbird, Tata, and ITC as well. So these are some of our plant-based meat members. So we have 45 of them, representing a huge portion, almost half of our entire members. And you'll be actually hearing from a lot of these experts right here. And another problem that the industry faces is ingredient shortage. So I just give a brief. I hope many of you would have already heard it if you were part of our previous meetings. We are coming up with 12 locations across India for developing plant protein clusters. And the first would be in Bhiwadi, Rajasthan. So this will be an integrated solution, an industry-led initiative where we are inviting SPV partners to tackle the problem of ingredient shortage. We'll put up a world-class facility infrastructure to produce isolates or concentrates, TBP or HMMA, and also the end product. So we welcome everyone. Kindly reach out to Sir or any of the team to discuss how we can take this forward as well. And we are also developing Center of Excellence where we are bridging startups and institutes. Currently, we are in touch with over 50 institutes, and we are constantly trying to have this engagement where we develop an virtual Center of Excellence, which connects all the startups with the institutes to advance the innovation. And these will also in turn be connected with food services as a part of end consumer engagement. And also, I hope many of you would have attended our previous summit where we had Shri Prahlad Singh Patel inaugurating the entire session, and we had over 40 plant-based food companies as tastings. They provided the products and over 450 delegates in it. So this time we are also planning to have a bigger summit. So this time we have planned for 22nd of May. And again in La Meridian in New Delhi. This time we also want to take it to the next level by having a big conference with all the stakeholders again being present in one single room, and also participation from international delegates. And we are also planning kind of a Shark Tank kind of a pitch session where which will benefit all the startups. And we'll have again tastings and plant-based lunch. So kindly reach out to us to see how you can also participate and spotlight your brand. We would love to engage with you in that conversation to see how we can make the event a best event for you as well. And also, before that, on March 14th, we are also having a pavilion in Ahar, a plant-based pavilion. Ahar is the biggest, one of the biggest food events in India. And this time, it is great that we are also going to be having a conference with APIDA on the first day of the event, where we are going to line up all the best speakers for the event. So also requesting you to get in touch with us for the same, and hoping to have a great year ahead. We have so many events lined up, so we'll constantly be sending out these events and how you can participate and take your brand to the next level. So looking forward to all the engagement, and thank you so much.
Thank you. Thank you, Indra. And I heard Sairaj from Bacau saying that he wanted to leave early. Now, Sairaj, would you like to kickstart the discussion today? You are on the mute.
Thank you so much, Sanjay ji, for this opportunity. Hello to everyone on this panel and watching this today. It's great to be here. I'll quickly get to what I'm going to speak about. There are a lot of people to talk. So today I'm going to talk about plant-based meat from the point of view of how we try and improve our product, how we engage with our consumers, and how important it is to engage with them to understand what exactly they want. We need to understand that what we are doing today is as good as an innovation. This category itself is being built right now in India by us, the few players which are there today. And we have to very closely put our ears to the ground and understand what our consumer wants. So the first thing that I understand
Okay. I think your video is stuck, Sairaj. So I give this opportunity to JBT team. We have Shailesh here.
Can you hear me now?
Yes, now we can hear. Continue, Sairaj. Yes.
Sorry. Yeah. So what I was saying was that the international market is a mature market, which the concept of mock meats has been there for 10, 15 years. India is at its nascent stage. So what we realized is today we export to close to three countries, and very soon to another fourth country, and the fifth one by next month. So what we realized is that every geography has very peculiar tastes. So you have to identify and understand from your distributors or from your importers as to what is the flavors or what are the tastes that they want, and then modify your products accordingly. Because one size fits all will not work in today's day and age. You need to really understand what the consumer in different geographies wants and give them what they want. It does not matter what you like. What's most important is what a consumer wants. So that's point one. The second thing, as I said, is the only way, and trust me, this is the only best way to understand what your consumer likes is from feedback. So we take feedback very, very critically and important. It's very important for us. So we hear what our consumers say, we are constantly engaging with them through telecalling, through our teams calling, through me calling sometimes. We understand what reviews we are getting, and we go back to the back end and try and identify the lacunas and try and improve the product, because change is the only constant, and we need to keep on improving and bettering our product to make an impact and come as close as possible to our competitors in the meat space. And finally, the third point that I want to make here is that the most important thing in an innovation is to tell your consumers how to use your innovation. It is sometimes, one of the biggest feedback that we've got is, हमने इससे खोला और खाने की कोशिश की और ये अच्छा नहीं लगा. So the point is, it's not supposed to be eaten that way. But unless you communicate this to your consumer, he's not going to know. So we try to do a lot of tastings, trials. That is the key today. You need to get the people, your consumer, to eat your product in the way it's supposed to be eaten. So that's very important. And we need to work on that as brands from this category to get as many people to eat as much as possible. So also if it means giving them free or getting into some collaboration with some institutions or colleges or hotels where they are giving your product in a cooked manner to the final consumer, to their guests, do that, because that's going to bring in repeats, and that's when people are going to test and try and understand the taste and like your product and be your regular customers. So I think these are my brief 3 points that I'm going to make in the 5 minutes allotted to me, Sanjay ji. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Thank you so much, Sairaj. So JBT team is represented by Shailesh and Manuel. So Shailesh, we can start with you.
Okay.
If you could locate that video that I've been asking you about the injection technology, you can show that as well. Kindly try to be around 5-10 minutes, please.
Okay. Good afternoon, all. Thanks, Sanjay ji, for giving us an opportunity to present JBT's latest technology or advanced technology for plant-based meat science. So here, myself, Shailesh, I'm handling sales part, India and neighboring countries. So I'm here with my colleague, Mr. Manuel, who sits in Bangkok. So he's an expert for this plant-based technology. So what I will do, I will run one video, which itself is a presentation come video, which covers all technology. It is pure prepared by Manny, and it is having its own voice inside it. So let me start it. It's 5 to 6 minutes. You will understand what latest technology JBT is having. And if any questions at the end of the video, you can ask it.
Yeah, so try to make it shorter, because we want to also.
It is short. It's maximum 5 minutes.
Yeah. Try to.
Hope you are getting hope you are getting video voice.
Yes. Video voice is still not coming. You can maybe start a little late. You can start a little late and end a little early, so that we can also talk to Manny.
No, 1 minute. You will get video voice immediately. It is there. Hope now you get video voice.
No.
Now it is ready.
Earlier, at
Now
least I was having the visuals. I was having the. Maybe you post it again. You present it again.
Shailesh, when you share your screen, there is an option called include.
Okay, now check. Now check.
Yes, it's coming.
Okay, perfect.
Plant-based meat processing setup. Plant-based meat products must be presented in an attractive and authentic way to make customers buy them. Our JBT process will show you how to achieve your goal to have an authentic and great tasting product in the shelf. First of all, please let me introduce myself. My name is 𝐾𝐢𝐬𝐬𝐜𝐿. I'm the APAC Manager for Primary and Secondary Processing Solutions, and I will be the moderator of today's webinar. In this webinar, we are going to show you how you can improve the texture, flavor, and the yield of your plant-based meat products. And it will be interesting to see how flexible we are utilizing the extruded HMMA sheets by 100% to reduce costs. Well, and here you can see the extruder in action. The HMMA sheets, texture, and characteristics can change with the ingredients the customer is using. Some of our customers tried soaking the plant-based HMMA sheets to flavor them in marinade or in salt water, but the pickup rate was just only about 3%. However, JBT's unique HMMA injection technology will help you to achieve higher yields and better texture. The injected marinade is fat-based and adds the missing flavor to the HMMA, as you will see on the next slide. So, and here you can see how we prepare the so-called high viscous brine, the HVB brine. Oil, plant-based chicken aroma, and other ingredients going into our JBT homogenizer. The marinade will then be injected by our unique HVB injector. Injection rates up to 30% are possible. The developed and patented arrangement of the needles contributes to the meat-like appearance in the end product, as you will see later. By the way, we can bar mark the HMMA sheets before we inject them to add further value to the product.
The sound has stopped coming now.
One more. It is. Let me run forward. Okay.
After a successful injection,
It's coming now.
Okay.
After a successful injection process, we run the HMMA sheets through the so-called DSI water jet cutting system to cut the right portions out of the HMMA. We can cut nuggets, chicken breasts, or alternative cutting patterns. You will see later on. The DSI himself is a modular system. The smallest model is the DSI 822, equipped with 2 nozzles, the 844, equipped with 4 nozzles, then the 866, and then the 888, equipped with 8 nozzles. We will select the correct machine for you according to your cutting pattern specification and your capacity. And here you can see our DSI in action. The HMMA sheet is fit into the machine during scanning. The software then calculates the best cutting pattern for the desired portion size and weight. In this case, we cut the HMMA into 32-gram nuggets with a random shape. The shape is different but the weight is always the same. When we cut chicken breast, DSI also cuts nuggets from the unused areas in between. This allows us to achieve the highest possible yield, which a stamp system like the one shown on the left will never achieve. But now it is time to show you some pictures of the final product. We are able to deliver a great flavor profile, and we make the texture of the ＨMMA visible by the HBB injection. This ultimately gives the product the meat-like appearance that the customer is looking for. Here are more pictures of fried HMMA nuggets and chicken breasts. The DSI allows you to change the cutting pattern strategy at any time, giving you the flexibility to cut the HMMA into shrimp or fish shape to mimic seafood. Again, we can see a nice meat-like structure when we're looking to the chicken nugget or to the edge of the chicken breasts. This is related to the unique JBT HBB injection process. We have shown you already how you can utilize the plant-based HMMA sheet on the DSI water jet cutter almost to its fullest. And at the end of the webinar, I would like to show you what you can do with the leftovers in between the portions to utilize the HMMA to 100%. These leftovers can be collected and run through our JBT double pair roller tenderizer. The result can be seen in the picture on the right, which is showing you a so-called plant-based pulled chicken or plant-based pulled pork. The shredded plant-based meat can alternatively be mixed with mayonnaise to go into sandwiches as filling. As you can see, our line setup will save you labor and costs, and it will improve the yield, texture, and flavor of your plant-based meat products.
Okay, that's it. Thanks. So Manny, if you'd like to add something, you can add from your end.
Hello, everybody. Yeah, that's technically it. So JBT, we are focusing very much to help our customers to improve their processes. A big trend is lately that a lot of customers asking for the HMMA injection. That means they come to us and say, our plant-based don't have a lot of flavor. We don't see the fiber structure and so on. We want to make that more visible. And we say, okay, we can make an oil-based marinade.
Can you switch on your video, please, Manny?
Yeah, hang on. The computer. Let me see if I can switch it on.
And also, please tell us about other technologies, not just the injection technology. Do you have other technologies also to improve the taste?
To improve the taste directly, for the direct taste improvement, we are using the injector to inject the oil-based emulsion. We are using the bar marker to imitate a grill aroma. And we are using the DSI water jet cutter to utilize this plant-based meats for sure to 100%, because sometimes the raw materials and the entire process can be expensive in some countries, considering the energy and so on. So we just try to help customers to utilize that to 100%, like you have seen in the video. We cut chicken nuggets in the areas in between. We have the chicken breasts and the leftovers run through the tenderizers to make or to imitate a shredded meat for sandwich fillings. If it comes to direct flavor improvement, I would say we still have another technology from a company that we just acquired a couple of months ago, 𝐒𝐲𝐬𝐼. They have so-called puddle mixers, and these puddle mixers can be equipped with CO2 spray nozzles. Was the original idea, to chill meat in these mixers. but they changed now their strategies. They equip these mixers with heating walls, so you can technically do an entire plant-based meat dish as a ready-to-eat meal in these machines. You can add the rice first, you can add the oil, you can add the onions, then your shredded plant-based meat, your herbs, and so on, and everything will be mixed nicely together and cooked in these paddle mixers. This is one of the major technologies what we have as well, what a lot of people use for ready-to-eat meals, and I guess it would match as well for ready-to-eat plant-based meals. It's also a big trend, especially here in Thailand, companies looking to ready-to-eat meals, with plant-based minced meat, things like that. Direct flavor improvement, this is more or less what we have. We have also fryers and freezers, so you can get the entire line from us. So technically we can cut the HMMA to nuggets, then we can run it through fryers, butter coat it, fry it, and freeze it directly. So the entire solution can come from JBT.
Yeah, not just one line at all our 12 clusters. We can
Exactly.
have something like this.
Yeah. The highlight is just lately this HVB injection, this fat emulsion injection into the HMMA, because it makes the texture very much visible, and it helps also customers with the yield. If you have a 20% injection rate in your HMMA, for sure you're also reducing cost, and you're also increasing your flavor profile, right? You are adding oil and so on, other ingredients that cannot be run through an extruder, technically, beginning of the process. Yeah. A lot of value. I mean, it's definitely worth to reach out to Stylish and JBT later on if you are into plant-based meat processing. There is so many things what we can do for you, especially if it comes to turnkey ready solutions, full lines from the beginning to the end. We can be your partner, and we have also the right knowledge with us to make it fly, so that you can have a very successful production right from the beginning and nice products in the shelf for your customer.
Yeah, Sanjay and all team members. Yes, apart from this plant-based technology, we are expert in coating, frying, and IQF or freezing technology. So anything you are having inquiry in terms of plant-based technology plus coating, frying, or IQF, please let us know. Our contact details are here. You can take from Sanjay ji also. We are open and
yes,
we are
also your contact details also. I don't have your WhatsApp number. Please send it to me. We would keep you on our mailing list.
Perfect.
Okay, great. Thank you so much.
That would be our
now,
part. Thank you very much. Yeah.
Thank you so much. And please stay on the call. You might have some questions towards the end. Now requesting first 𝐃𝐢𝐬𝐬𝐜𝐿, Sangeeta to come in. 𝐃𝐢𝐬𝐬𝐜 is one of the fantastic organizations, one of my most favorite organizations, doing a wonderful work. And Sangeeta, you're there.
Yeah. Hi, everyone. Good afternoon. Myself, Sangeeta, and I am the technical lead for plant-based meat development for 𝐃𝐢𝐬𝐬𝐜 Indian subcontinent. So I'll run through a small presentation. How as 𝐃𝐢𝐬𝐬𝐜, we have contributed immensely, not only worldwide, but we have started work in Indian subcontinent as well.
Yes, Sangeeta, 5 minutes, please. Yeah?
Yes, sir. So hope my screen is visible. Yes. So just quickly introducing a sub-brand which is under Radical. So this is a sub-brand against which we market our product. And 𝐃𝐢𝐬𝐬𝐜 has a vast knowledge and understanding, not only in the plant-based, but across multiple technologies that you all, I'm sure, must have heard of. And I'm going to quickly run through it. So before my presentation, I think Sairaj has touched upon how important our consumers are. And as a 𝐃𝐢𝐬𝐬𝐜, we are also a consumer-driven organization where we run a lot of market researches pertaining to the market that we operate. So though we have global data, which we can pull it through various other locations that we operate in, but in specific to India also, we have done researches based on the consumer. And the main focus is always on the taste and the experience what consumer want from us. Of course, the health and nutrition is also an angle because nowadays the consumers are more focused on what they're eating. Reading onto the labels is more frequent. With Gen Z coming in, they want to know what they are eating and what are the new innovation that each organization is bringing onto the table. Clean label and sustainability. So India is no different in following, the global patterns are. And globally, if we see the labels, we are moving towards the clean label approach and sustainability. So plant-based meat brings the sustainability model more viable than any other category per se. So as a Kerry, I'm just going to take through a quick snapshot. So what were we into in a holistic way? So taste is one technical pillar that we call. I'll just jump into taste because there's a time shortage. So Kerry has a deep understanding of a taste solution. And if we see the challenges about the today's agenda is, so in plant-based per se, the off notes that it gets generated is very predominant across substrates, and how do we cater to is one of the challenges. And we are working with different protein bases. There are different challenges, be it soya or pea. So Kerry has a solution in taste sense, and it can take care of all those challenges. Of course, it depends on format to format and application to application. There are challenges of using a genuine flavor. We should mimic meat in a right way with the optimum flavor delivery, not overpowering the plant protein notes and not high in flavors too. There are different blocks of smokes and grills which are available with us, and all can be curated and designed to give a complete block that a consumer is looking for. In terms of sustainable angle to plant proteins, what we see is there is, I will not say lack of experience. India is well diverse in using plant proteins, but yes, how to use them in a textured format and how to be globally competent in all these categories. That experience we need to learn, and we all are learning in this journey. So far, India is concerned, and not only we are learning from global data, but as an indigenous proteins that we do have, I think more work need to be done to make it a holistic approach, so a commercial viable approach, which can become a commercially viable product. In terms of challenges that this sustainable plant protein has is, often we come with a problem or a challenge or an issue is more salt perceptions. So in masking salt, sometimes we go overboard in sodium content. So how do we balance all these in applications, and how do we do a holistic a concept is what about this category needs to evolve and learn, understanding their consumer. And overall, as we have understood from the consumer study, the taste is the key pillar. So improving taste will be a major, I think, a major focus in giving our consumer the best that we can do in the plant proteins space. So that's all from my side in a nutshell as a Kerry.
And Sangeeta, you said somewhere that because of time limit, you are skipping a slide. Please go back there. Because I'm feeling sad that a combination like Kerry has to skip the slide.
Yes, so this is the, I have touched upon all the pillars, but yes, how we have divided this category into 4 technical pillars is, one is taste, of course. So taste is the key because consumer understand globally, not only India, it has to be tastier, it has to be like a meat. Second is the functionality, the bite of the product. So it should have a right bite to call it a meat, because when we are working on a population of a flexitarians. So the consumer who are used to the taste of the meat, we have to give the right bite, right juiciness to the product. and then the sustainable protein. So there are different proteins that are available globally. Like from globally, we understand soya, pea, etc. But India also has a lot of proteins, indigenous proteins that are available and that are getting into limelight. So I think sustainability of protein is one of the major angle that 𝐾𝐤 is also focusing globally. And the fourth pillar, what we call is as a nutrition. So by working with a lot of ingredients, we should not make our labels heavily loaded with numbers. So how we can optimize our labels, how we can optimize the protein content, the fiber content in the product can be looked at holistically.
And good that you spoke about sustainable plant protein and the indigenous products, Sangeeta. So can you tell me one or two, ingredients which are your favorite?
Sir, like if I have to see the nutritional profile of the product, like beating soya will be very difficult, but soya has a negative connotation of being called as allergen. But if we compare the protein quality, I think beating soya will be very difficult. But yes, in India, like mung bean can be one which can be worked upon, and there are various indigenous proteins plus addition of millets to it. How we can, Indianize it, or the more Indian consumer would like it, that should be the next target to our consumers in the country.
Praj is there in this meeting, and Sethi is there, and I told him that rice protein also will be used by 𝐾𝐤 at one stage or other thing. But you haven't mentioned about rice protein or even lentils. So they would like to hear whether 𝐾𝐤 can also use some novel ingredients like even chickpea or some of those, even could be sunflower later. Can you?
So yes,
rice
protein is majorly what we are focusing in the beverage segment. So alt beverage, we are focusing on rice protein because that mimicking meat's texture with rice protein will be difficult. So that is more towards the beverage segment. Yes, globally, India being looked at from the supply source angle also. Like 𝐾𝐤 is looking to invest in India, and yes, there will be some work around the indigenous protein in India. But to start with, we will lift, shift, and adapt what we have in other location, and then work upon these new proteins.
Okay, thank you so much, Sangeeta. We have somebody from Singapore, from Shandy Global, Gaurav Sharma. Gaurav, are you there? Can you please come in?
Hi, Sanjay. Thank you for the opportunity, and thank you for inviting. So I'll try to wrap up it in 5 minutes. Let me share a presentation. I hope it will be like 2 minutes, a few slides. Can you see my screen?
Not yet.
Yeah.
Yes, I can see. And also, please send this presentation to me, Gaurav.
Yeah, definitely. So thank you. So we are a Singapore-based plant-based company, basically, or I would say food technology company. I will talk on all these 3 areas, which we are very much aware. One is the price, because most of the products are super expensive, actually. Means if I compare to the meat, 4 to 5 times more expensive. And we live in a real world where the average income is like $2 to $10, or most of the people are earning not more than that. So if we talk about the sustainability, the first question comes is like people must buy it actually, and then only it can become a sustainable food. Second thing is I don't put the nutrition on the second part actually. For me, when it comes food, the nutrition is the first aspect, but otherwise it's not sustainable anyway. And if you look at the plant-based products, typically the protein content is half of the meat. So I won't call it meat alternative because it has to be better than meat. And we believe like something called meat alternative. It's not actually, it's a better than meat actually. So we always target that better than meat in terms of nutrition, in terms of taste, in terms of texture and everything. And third and most important is it's not one or two type of the food, because the whole world doesn't eat the same food. We have hundreds of different cultures, especially like India. So we have so much diversity, and we eat like Singapore, and that's what I learned in Singapore. Like Singapore is the most diverse place. It's a small island, but you can find in one street, you can find all 10 different type of restaurant having 20 different type of chicken cuisines. How we are going to serve all of them actually? So we thought of the idea, like why we are selling one product or another product, why we don't make meat as a meat, so that everyone can use it and it should be usable into any food possible. And one basic philosophy we follow is we don't need to pursue people actually to do anything. We just need to inspire with the right thing, and they will do it by themselves. So first thing is the nutrition. We came out with the product which is more nutrition than meat, whether it's a protein or it's carbohydrate. So you don't have carbohydrate, almost negligible, 1.5% carbohydrate, 30% protein, which is in fact more than chicken. And clean label. So clean label for us is not a regulatory requirement. It's our own belief, like there shouldn't be any chemicals, or a person shouldn't need to Google what does this ingredient mean. It should be so simple, black and white, that mung bean means mung beans, and we use multiple proteins. So not based on like which protein is more popular nowadays, but actually based on which brings the whole amino acid profile to the food, and it is available locally. So we go by that source, and we use multiple sources of the protein. So we use high moisture extruder HMMA technology to produce the texture, and the flavor is inbuilt. I will go on technology a little bit, and it's a piece of meat. So you can use it into anything. You can deep fry it, barbecue it, or make it a curry, or make it a soup, or even some customers are using it for retort packaging. So finally they are preparing a food and they are doing retort technology. Now our technology has three main areas actually. So we sought out converting the pea protein or the protein mix into a real meat. So first is the Clean Pro. So we don't need to add any masking or anything. We studied like why the beanie taste and all those are there, and we eliminated the beanie taste from the protein isolate itself. So when it goes through HMMA or it goes to any other process, the beanie taste is not there. It's already clean. And good thing is it's not masked. So we didn't put a perfume in the bed or the room actually. I open the windows and I let the bed smell go, or I throw out the unwashed socks. So the smell is not there at all. So you don't need to worry whether when we cook it, the beanie taste will reappear or not. It will never reappear. Second is the meat sensor. So it's a flavor of raw meat. So we don't mimic a particular food product flavor. What we replicated is the raw meat, how the taste is developing in the meat itself. Like in raw meat or raw chicken, you don't need to put a chicken flavor actually. There are already the molecules, when we cook them, they develop into a particular taste, and the way we cook it. So if we fry it, it will become a fried taste, or if we are barbecuing it or we are tandoori grilling it, it will become a different taste. That will happen if the molecules of the raw meat are matched. So we did exactly same. So instead of putting one flavor or another, we replicated the molecular structure of the meat itself. So we bring all the precursors of the meat. And the third one is the texturization. So we use HMMA technology. We are a B2B company. So what we do is we supply meat as a meat to different food companies. We're starting from catering companies. We are largest supplier in the schools in Singapore, all the international schools, including the hospitals, corporates for their canteens, and over 30 restaurants. And they are all into very different cuisines. So, and one thing I forgot to tell, the price is lower than meat, because that's our belief. I'm a vegetarian, lifetime from India, and vegetarian should not be more expensive than, because the basic principle of the sustainability is that we need 10 kilo of the food to produce 1 kilo of chicken. How suddenly that 1 kilo of the vegetarian food become more expensive than chicken? So that's mathematically wrong actually. So, and main reason is so many additives, so much of processing. If we don't need that, if we use more real science, it won't be expensive. So even today, our price is lower than the chicken, at least in Singapore. And we are further reducing it actually. Our purpose is to bring the price as the point where almost everyone can buy it, everyone actually, because then only we can achieve the real sustainability goals. Okay, I will just go. So currently we are in all these places. So most of the corporates we are supplying to 6 different countries, to food manufacturing companies, and they are using it as a meat into their different cuisines, making different final products. So eliminating all the need of the meat development. So the startups or the food companies, they can jump on making the final food because that's what they are good at, and we supply the meat to them. So that's our business model is. So currently we are serving over 3,000 meals every day, and by next year we expect to reach to 1 million meals per day in different segments, and so on. So I will. That's our facility in Singapore. That's our HMM line, and we have a good application center. And we also do some ready-to-eat products for different customers because we not only provide the meat, but we also extend our expertise on the application development. So we support them in terms of developments and other applications. This is probably the largest line in Singapore. Can produce 500 kilo per hour currently. We are at 20% capacity currently. We started in August 2022 after COVID. So that's about us. And these are some of our happy faces actually. They tried our product and they have been eating all ages. So we are breaking a lot of dilemmas, like it's not a trendy product, it's actually a basic necessity. It's not just for like millennials or something. Yeah, it's a healthy product which anyone can adopt it actually, if we give the right taste at the right price and right health. So yeah, changing a lot of things here. So thank you very much, Sanjay sir, and for invitation and the opportunity to share about us. Any questions anyone has?
Yeah. Thank you so much, Gaurav, and please do send your presentation to us. And I must say that while you decide your technology, whether it's TVP or HMMA or whatever decisions that you take, apart from about 150 people who are on this line, this recording will be sent to a lot of your prospective customers. Not to say that some of the marquee customers are already on this webinar, whether it is McDonald's or it is Burger King or Burger King. Many organizations are watching you or will keep watching you. This is going to go viral. I am now inviting Novozymes. If we can have the wonderful presentation from Suchitra. Suchitra, would you like to speak or show?
Yeah, sure. Thank you so much. And good afternoon, everyone. I'm Suchitra. I'm leading the technical service and innovation team for South Asia. And here I am to talk about what enzymes can do in meat analog. So for those,
but please don't talk about the dairy part, because we are going to invite you for a special masterclass where you'll have more than.
Oh yeah, I'm not doing that. Yes.
Everybody has quota, and we are very much keen to know what's happening on the triglycerides and on the meat side.
Sure, sure. So for those who don't know about or not very familiar with enzymes, these are called biocatalysts, and every living organism require an enzyme to do the biochemical reaction in your body, so that the vital activities in the living organisms can be sustained, and they basically reduce the activation energy. That's how they reduce reduce the energy requirement, and they are more sustainable. So Novozymes produces this enzymes through microbial fermentation process, and that's how these are being the application has been developed, and we supply to industries like you. So coming to today's topic on enzymes in building natural and sustainable meat analog, I just have 2 slides. And the first slide talks more about how you can add more value with enzyme to your raw material. It's mainly for the processors, where whatever may be the raw material type, it could be any kind of protein source. You can, from the extraction of the protein, isolation of protein by using enzyme technology, to bringing specific functionality, as well as flavor is something can be done by enzymes, and it's been used today in industry. Like for example, I think in Indra's slide you saw that enzyme is one of the technology that is used for making these isolates and concentrates. Basically here you reduce the non-enzymatic components and concentrate the enzymatic part, non-protein components, and concentrate the protein part by using enzymes. And this is possible through different filtration technology and separation technology along with enzymes. The second part is, what do you do once you get the protein? Either you can use that to texturize the protein, or the second part is you can also use that to generate flavor. And here we are talking more of a umami flavor. So there are different enzymes that's been used depending on the intensity. These are mainly play with proteases. The first protease is used mainly to break down the proteins to lower peptide molecules, and then further broken down to amino acid level, where you convert the glutamine to glutamic acid with an enzyme, and the umaminess can be naturally enhanced. So you don't have to add any artificial flavor or any other flavoring agents to increase the umaminess. So from the inherent protein itself, you are able to generate. The second part I'm going to talk about is more of how can you improve the textural part of the plant protein. Now this is, we saw a few examples through technology, how you are able to get the right texture. Today, majority of the recipe contains a lot of additives or numbers, which helps in bringing or binding the proteins together, so that when you process it, it's able to hold together. When you bite, you're able to get the right texture. The same thing can be done with enzymes, and it's called a specific enzyme called transglutaminase, who has the ability to cross-link the amino acids. Now, if I have to show here, glycine and lysine, amino acids, the enzyme is able to bind these together or make cross-linking with these 2 amino acids. So the more amount of these amino acids you have in a raw material, the better the binding would be, and the better the texture would be translated, in your final product. So here again, naturally through an enzyme, you are able to bind the protein, cross-link the protein, and get a stronger protein network. And the other benefit is also it will have a better water holding capacity, which we also see is a challenge in getting plant protein meat analogs. So basically, these are the 2 slides I had to share with you. But if you would like to know more, do contact us, get back to us. We can help you with more information, more knowledge that we have, more examples, and some of the recipes and process support that we can give you. Yeah.
Great. Thank you so much. So here comes June Swer from the Field Green, an organization which is providing white label products to many companies. June, are you there?
Yeah, hi Sanjay. Can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear, but I can't see you.
I'm so sorry. There's some problem with my camera, so it's been going on for some time. I need to update my software.
No problem. You have a presentation,
Yeah.
or you would like to speak?
So I would just like to speak, Sanjay. Thanks for the invite.
Great.
And it's been great listening to everyone and a new learning, especially on the HMMA processes. So thanks for that. And I'm here to, just tell you about ourselves first. So Field Grill is a part of the CHATHA Foods company. So we started in 1998 producing meat and poultry products. So, and then, to keep in pace with the changes and, to support the consumer focus on ethical consumption, like going into, plant-based proteins. So we have started working on innovations in the plant-based sector since 2019. So initially, we had in end of 2018 and beginning of 2019. So that's before the lockdown. In that time, we faced a lot of difficulties getting raw materials, even getting to know, what kind of raw materials to use was a big problem. So now, like, 2-3 years down the line, I think India is coming up a lot on the plant-based sector. So, and then, so during the lockdown, we started working and started doing a lot of research, and we connected with VKL Seasonings, Ambali. I don't know if you've heard about her, but she is also one of the leading persons, I would say, to bring plant-based, proteins to India. So we did a lot of work together, and we started, working on binders and different types of proteins. And we still are doing research and development together. And we've been able to produce numerous number of products. So we are basically an end consumer manufacturer. So we make mock meats, delicatessens like sausages, salamis, and then we make like kebabs, meatballs, chicken breasts, fillet kind of a thing, nuggets. So we've been able to come up with 50 plus product types, which is, based on plant proteins. So like I said, since we are an end customer manufacturer, we are buying ingredients from various players like Kerry, like VKL, like we're working together with them, and then we are buying flavors from Givaudan, we are buying flavors from Firmenich, and so we kind of have to buy all the ingredients, so we don't manufacture anything on our own here. So that creates a problem because that creates a problem on sustainability, because then the product becomes very, very expensive. So as of now, I think the cost of plant-based mock meats is like more than 30% the cost of actual meat products. Since we're doing both, so yeah, so we we analyze and we see like it is too expensive. It's not affordable by the people right now. So keeping in mind, that since India is a vegetarian kind of consumer base, so and most of the people get proteins from a few beans and mostly I think from paneer. So we have kind of made some changes in our innovation. So instead of making mock meats, we are more into making plant-based, products which are rich in proteins, using the plant-based textured proteins, say the pea proteins that we get from rocket, or the soy proteins. So instead of making alternate meats, we've started making kind of high protein vegetarian products, which I think people have started accepting, and the cost is like almost the same as the paneer, the paneer products. So probably, instead of just looking into replacing the meat products for the flexitarians or the meat eaters, so we can, look into developing vegan, vegetarian products which are high in protein. So that's what we are doing right now, and there seems to be a very good, response from the market. So that's all from my side, Sanjay. If there's anything you want to ask.
Thank you so much, June. We had tasted your amazing plant-based meat during AHAR. So do participate this time also. There is going to be a plant-based pavilion this time. And it would be nice to showcase your products to everybody who comes in this great exhibition, AHAR, which starts on 14th of March. So we also have a poll with 3 questions, which will pop up one after another with some gap. So
Sure.
I request my colleagues to put that question there. And I see that my colleague Medha is also joined. Medha, are you there? So you can come and introduce yourself. And then I request Dr. Gurmeet Singh, who is a great expert from Transdisciplinary University, TDU, in Bengaluru, and they have the amazing facility for the extrusion line, and they also provide services to startups and to whoever wants to utilize this spare capacity. And it will be great to hear from you, Dr. Gurmeet. Please go ahead. So you're on the mute, Dr. Gurmeet.
Unmute,
You're
yeah.
on the mute. Yeah.
Yes. So yeah, hi. Thank you for the opportunity to speak here. Just to introduce ourselves, we are a small university here in the north of Bangalore in Yelahanka, and we've been working in the area of plant-based proteins over the last 4 or 5 years or so. And we have almost an end-to-end operation here, pilot plants for extrusion. We have a Brabender twin screw extruder with about 10 different dyes, which can make both high moisture meat analogs as well as dry TBP products, plus a host of other things. And somewhere in the 2 to 20 kgs per hour rate. So it's a nice line to do research on and also to do some conceptual studies and pilot plant studies. To support it, we have a small facility for protein extraction as well, and where we are playing with the mung dal proteins and urad dal proteins and chana dal proteins and millet proteins, etc. We have a laboratory for analysis of products, the texture analysis, texture analyzer we have a GCMS for aroma, we have a Rancimat for looking at the fats that go into the products, we have wet chemistry lab for physicochemical analysis. We have a full-fledged kitchen for converting these proteins that come out into products, and this has things like Mary Chef has a marinating vacuum infiltrator. It has a rational cooker. We are into making sausages as well, with stuffing machines and bowl choppers, etc. So they're end to end, and also plant-based milks. I don't know whether that's the topic for today as well, but we have homogenizers, 2000 bar homogenizer for making plant-based milk. So those are the areas that in the infrastructure that we have, and we conduct workshops for anybody who's interested in this area, both online workshops and pilot plant workshops, 3-day pilot plant workshops as well. They've been fairly well attended. More than 100 different industries have participated. Participants from 100 industries have come and attended our workshops. We've also done service projects of technology, prototype development, product development for more than 30 companies. So feel free to approach us if you have any of these requirements. I think on the message that Sanjay ji had sent out, he also had requested us to just 2 minutes talk about what we feel as the areas, emerging areas. So one, certainly the area that we work on is looking at what are the ingredients which are available in the market today. Proteins, protein isolates, concentrates, pea isolates, concentrates, wheat, gluten, a host of other emerging such there's suppliers, well-established suppliers for these, and we look at how best to convert them into various products that may be of interest to us, right? From mincemeat products, but a lot of our interest, academic interest, are in whole meat products as well, which is a gap in the industry we feel today. Second, we are looking at new materials, right, which are there. There are a host of waste coming from our food industry, and we are looking at these as sources of proteins and what are the functional properties of these and how would they texturize, right? And especially when we start blending them into some of the more mass available soy and pea kind of proteins. And then we look at flavorings and how do we cut down on the E numbers, right, through some of the ingredients which are there and have not been really tried out, right? If you look at a literature source where we go very often for our leads is the Ayurvedic literature source, and we have more than 1,500 ingredients that we have documented and collected, and that's the plant-based materials which we go to incorporate to get ingredients, functional ingredients, which would then make even better plant-based meats and milks. Yeah. So with that, I'll stop here. Thank you, Sanjay ji, for the opportunity once again.
Yes, so Dr. Gurmeet, can you also talk about the facilities that you have and if you are offering any thing to the members of PBFIA?
Yeah. We have, as I said, we have pilot plant scale facilities for making high moisture meat analogs, for making dry TVPs, and full-fledged lab to support the texture analysis, the physicochemical analysis of ingredients, etc., for making plant-based milks, and kitchen to support all that activity. And we are very happy to collaborate with anybody who's interested in developing products or bringing their ingredients and seeing how well they behave in various functional formats. We have a number of projects, actually ongoing projects with industries who are looking at their ingredients and creating a whole bouquet of products, or maybe single ingredient companies, specialty proteins, and trying to see how we can create proprietary products with them. So we are happy to work with industry, product developers, entrepreneurs, right?
Yeah, when we had visited your facility, I and Indra had gone, and
Okay.
we had a long debate about TVP and HMMA, and the industry is also, keep asking that same question, that why there are no whole cuts, and do we really need it? And do you really want to, hard cook and deep fry some of these products when these are coming from the factory? So can you throw some light on that, please?
I think today, at least at home, so if you want to really make a dent, I don't know, everybody approaches this area from a different perspective, but let's take the area of sustainability as one perspective, right? Maybe animal ethics is there, cultural tastes are there. Also nutritional value, that we can create products, plant-based products, which are more complete in nutritional profile, more wholesome, etc. So I think offering, having worked 20 years in industry, actually in Unilever, being able to create ingredients which can offer various, fit into various food formats is important, is really important. Today, if I look at plant-based meats, we have a good handle on a couple of raw materials, soy and protein and pea in particular, to convert into minced meat products, right? Whole meat products has still been elusive. So when people say whether it is required or not, that is because nobody has seen, right, good products yet coming out. Once we see good products coming out, that area will automatically also take up in a big way. There are some shreds which are available meat shred analogs. Chunks, there are huge gaps, I think, compared to, so texturally, they are not really pleasing at this point of time. Even if you do not compare with meat, they're just not pleasing enough. So there are gaps there which need to be addressed. We are working on some of those gaps. We had good leads as well, we feel. And so I think that those are revolutions which are waiting to happen. And if we want to see India take a lead, those are opportunity spaces for India to certainly take a lead. Maybe at this point of time, it is more of, if you look at R&D world, this is more of in the R space as opposed to in the D space. Certainly not in the deploy space, right? Which is where probably most of the audience here is in the deploy space, is something readily available that I can get to market. So D, we work largely in the R&D space, right? Where there are gaps, yeah, in knowledge.
What a fantastic organization TDO is. Very happy to have such a great institution in India. Thank you very much, Dr. Gurmeet, for being here. Now I request 𝐶𝐬𝐬𝐜𝐬 to come in. 𝐶𝐬𝐬𝐜𝐬 and parent Synthite Group is a very important organization in India, in our sector. And we have Saranya and also Krishna Das. Saranya, would you like to come in first?
Yeah, hi Sanjay ji. Good afternoon all. So I would like to take you through a small presentation regarding 𝐶𝐬𝐬𝐜𝐬 and what we really do.
Go ahead.
Are you able to view the presentation?
No.
No, not yet. Not yet. Yes.
Yeah. So 𝐶𝐬𝐬𝐜𝐬, as most of you would aware, it's a leading Indian name in the sensory ingredient solutions. So we are an invisible partner because we are majorly caters into the B2B segment rather than into the retail segment. So we now enters into the retail segment because we are here to support the startups or the small players and the big players who wants to enter into different categories, which can be the colors, flavors, seasonings, curry powders, gravies, and different categories altogether. We started in 2006 and till now, we cater almost 30 countries across the world. So these are the different categories which we handle. It's like the savory blends, natural colors, flavors, culinary products, and specialty food. So myself, Sharma, I head the R&D team of specialty food, where we actually handle the plant-based food R&D work as well as the commercial manufacturing. So over the past 2 to 3 years, so 𝐶𝐬𝐬𝐜𝐬 has worked a wide range of plant-based concepts across meat, dairy, egg, and cheese, all in terms of the alternative segment. Our learning from various industry forums and consumer survey convinced that the preference of this category in India is different. But most of us are trying to convert the Western products into the Indian, the categories like the burgers and sausages. But that is not helping this category to penetrate the mainstream consumer baskets. So hence, we focused more to the Indianized formats like the steaks, samosas, parathas. Majorly, those are the formed products to cater the Indian requirement for the plant-based food segment altogether. So on the screen, what you're seeing is the different categories where 𝐶𝐬𝐬𝐜𝐬 is concentrating more on the development as well as the commercial, like the private label module for different clients across the world. So these are the few of the formed products which we support our clients into Indian as well as abroad, because we are doing both domestic and export markets. So if you see, so 𝐶𝐬𝐬𝐜𝐬 with our parent company Synthite, we have different protein sources. So majorly we are working with the pulses and the different cereals and their protein isolate or concentrate to develop different alternatives. Along with the protein, we are also using jackfruit, which is very famous in Kerala because 𝐶𝐬𝐬𝐜𝐬 is situated in Kerala, Cochin, so where we have abundant jackfruit source. So like when you consider the product development, so the protein we are doing texturization to get the fibrous texture, whereas jackfruit, by its origin, it has the textures. Along with the protein, which is very less in protein, we get the benefit of fiber out of the jackfruit formats. So few of the formats like the burger patties, nuggets, meatballs, kebabs, fingers. So along with meat alternatives, we also develop food products using dairy alternatives. So this is regarding the 𝐶𝐬𝐬𝐜𝐸 capacity on the pilot scale facility. So we have a pilot scale facility in Cochin where we can manufacture almost around 100 metric tons of finished products on a monthly basis. So we have an R&D facility in the same area, which is in Cochin, which is almost 25 kilometers away from the airport, where we have 9 technologists and 1 chef. So we have a dairy technologist to develop the dairy alternatives. We have a meat technologist to develop a meat alternatives. And at the same time, along with the formed products, we are also planning to extend our development into the extrusion facility as well, along with the support of our parent company, Sindhite. So when we started this project, this plant-based protein, it was early known as majorly into the vegan lifestyles. But today we see that this definition is changing and the category is moving from being a niche to a mainstream choice. Thanks to the improved customer awareness, better product design and high-end interest and brands, investors and governments. So I'm excited to note that several of these brands playing in the market today have been able to deliver the taste, texture, and overall meat eating experience to the consumer throughout the smart protein design and process technologies. So our facility, which is there in Cochin, is a 100% plant-oriented facility where we are handling the manufacturing of only plant-based products. That being said, the category being able to tap into the vast majority of Indian households yet. It's a no actually, but at 𝐶𝐬𝐬𝐜𝐸, we work around this question of why it's not going into the mainstream. And we see 2 major factors and as the problem why this category is not going into the major stream. The very first one is the sensorial experience. Now we can say it is a protein alternative. It has the same protein as that of meat, everything. So we all are talking about that. But for a client, the taste, the sensory is the key factor with which who decide the continuous purchase of any product. So, but the same sensory, the taste, flavor, we can play with different ingredients, different flavors, different additives and all. At the same time, the texture, we are playing with either textured proteins or jackfruit to get the meat kind of texture. And then the visual appeal. Now, if you take, we can categorize the products into 2 different categories. One is the formed product like the nuggets, seek, or things like that, and then the muscle. So here at 𝐶𝐬𝐬𝐜𝐸, we concentrate more into the molded products or the formed products, which are the easiest one to cater to the client. Those who want to convert from a non-vegetarian diet to a vegan diet or a plant-based or a flexitarian diet altogether, who will get it better alternatives in terms of less cholesterol or no cholesterol, no antibiotics and hormone-free products. So the second challenge is the pricing. So now if you see, most of these ingredients are getting imported into India. So that's why at 𝐶𝐬𝐬𝐜𝐸, we work mainly with the jackfruit, and with the help of Sindhite, we have our own some textural proteins and protein isolate to compete with the meat products in terms of the price. And with confidence, we can say 𝐶𝐬𝐬𝐜𝐸 is able to compete with the current meat price in terms of all the kind of formed products. So the one of the other problem I would like to discuss through PBFIA is the supply chain. As in India, if you take most of the one who enters into the plant-based food industry are startups, and the volumes are very less in the initial stage because everybody is trying to review their products through market surveys and the initial launches. So the frozen supply chain is the key problem nowadays. People or the entrepreneurs are afraid to enter into the frozen food products because of this logistics problem. So I want PBFI to work and come out with some solutions to solve this logistics problem so that more entrepreneur can enter into the picture.
Very much on that. Very much on that.
Yes, because 𝐶𝐬𝐬𝐜𝐻 is there to support is the B2B segment for the manufacturing of finished product. So we need a logistic, support in that. So the next one is the perception. So now whenever everyone view these products, now even these kids would like to review the ingredients before they eat something. So most of the plant-based corn products now if you review, it's mostly with additives and more than 20 ingredients. So the parents or even the normal consumers are afraid, why this much ingredients? Are they safe to eat? It's very tough to educate the entire clients through the artwork. It's not possible. So here at 𝐶𝐬𝐬𝐜𝐻, we are trying to develop from the product with a very few ingredients, kind of a clean label products. So that's our clients also requesting. They want clean label products, come up to launch their plant-based food into this segment. And less processed. So HMMA, so now there are lots of negative scenarios on the isolates because these are alkali treatment, acid treatment, everything. So jackfruit is the one ingredient which helps 𝐶𝐬𝐬𝐜𝐻 to launch kind of less processed products into the market. And as I suggested, we are working with the less additive formats altogether. So that's all about this section.
Thank you. Thank you so much. Thank you, Saranya. We have Burger King. So we have seen such rave reviews, Sudhir, that Impossible Meat and Burger King has been having such a successful partnership. Hope you will announce something in India very soon, and hope PBFI can help you to do that. And we want to know, customers' perspective, and it will be great if you can tell our members as to what you are looking for and where we are failing. So it will be very nice to have a very candid conversation, and we are looking forward to hear that.
Yeah, thank you very much, and hearty congratulations. You have really taken, I can see the efforts you have taken to get so many intellectuals at one place, and this is really a treat to hear everyone with their experiences. Indeed, but yes, we are on the other side of table. We are in the restaurant business, using or our starting point is where you give your products to us, and we get to the consumer guest. And as we are in the restaurant business, obviously we are also customers in the or visit the restaurants at one point or other, and every time we seek upon some varieties, some what is aaj naya kya hai. And in that way, definitely this is the one technology, one product range which is emerging out. There has been a lot of discussion in the various segments. Abroad particularly, it's a talking point. But somehow this is getting the challenging to make it popular or get the popularity here. Burger King is in the QSR business. Some of the other brands, pizza brand, have tried it with a limited success on that. But I feel, as Indra spelled out in the very first opening speech, the challenges which we face is price, over processed, taste. Even Saranya also mentioned about the perception or the pricing and sensorial things. So on the sensorial things, I don't have any second doubt that we have an expertise here internally who knows the Indian taste. Although the taste and perceptions varies from state to state, area to area, but we have enough expertise in creating the taste. Today, the main challenge for us also while launching these products is the price. Why price? Is because the segments in which we are in. A couple of minutes back, I was also thinking that perhaps we don't have any solution at the moment. But after talking to the expertise in the team, for example, when Mr. Gaurav Sharma mentioned that the meat, this plant-based meat can be made cheaper than the actual meat, I was really excited on that. Obviously, if it can be done at somewhere, maybe today Gaurav Sharma's company is in Singapore. But I don't know what is the cost of import, but we have ample expertise and all these processors who, with the help of ingredients specialists, can make it happen here in India too. Why not? Even when the Saranya mentioned about her experience about the jackfruit, that is also an additional or a separate option which we can help or get it in the cost sensitive field where we are in. Honestly, I don't know what is the cost of jackfruit based products will be, but yes, we have a customers, we have a lot of curiosity about the products, but today the cost is what is holding us back. I really feel sometimes a challenging, not a sorry, but challenging for it. I'm also keen on going ahead with this. Abroad, Burger King was a pioneer in introducing this. I'm too keen. In fact, I keen on talking with Mr. Sethi. Even last month also we had that. How can we make it happen? And thanks, I will be looking after the solution for the team. But yes, we are open definitely.
Thank you so much.
Yeah.
Thank you, Sudhir. I believe that with your partnership for our various plant protein clusters, we will be able to solve this problem.
Absolutely, sir.
Thank you. So I would like to now ask you, Sudhir, or maybe you have a competitor, McDonald's, and we have their supplier here. I don't know whether you allow your competitor supplier to supply to you, but let him make a pitch. We have Vista Foods here. We have Mr. Kundu, as Kundu.
Incidentally,
like to
incidentally, they are our suppliers too.
Oh, very good. That's very good.
So,
that's very good.
Kundu is a good friend of mine, and we have together developed several products together. So, yeah, over to you, Kundu.
So, Kundu, then you don't have to speak. You got the customer already in your pocket. Okay, go ahead.
Yes.
Small world.
Your turn now. Yes, Kundu, go ahead.
Should I continue?
Yes.
Should
please.
I continue?
Welcome.
So,
welcome.
Good afternoon to all. Thanks, Mr. Sethi, for giving me an opportunity to speak. So here I will please let me allow a few slides.
Yeah, you have maximum 5 minutes, please.
Yes, can you see it?
Yes, we are getting a lot of messages from people that they are learning a lot from this masterclass. Maybe we'll have to extend it by 10-15 minutes, and we also have 2 more questions to go. Requesting.
Okay, I'll just try to finish it within 5 minutes only.
Yes. So Narari, you can also post the question while this presentation is going on.
So this is a brief flow of the presentation. So plant-based meat journey, and then plant-based meat, our customer base. A major raw material we focused on in the development process, and a plant-based product range we are making in Vista, and what are the major challenges faced in the development process, and what are the opportunities we should thrive on. So if I talk about OSI, this is primarily, if I talk about OSI globally, this is primarily a animal meat processing company. But here in India, we do both vegetarian and non-vegetarian, almost 50-50. And in the plant protein space, we started our journey in 2019. So we just initiated the thought process, and we didn't do much work, only did the study part. So in 2020, during the peak pandemic time itself, we started the development work. So our first customer approached us, that is Blue Tribe.
And the launch got delayed, and then finally we could launch at the end of 2020. And in 2020, we initiated discussion with Imagine Meet also. So in 21, we worked extensively for Imagine Meet and then launched in the second quarter of 2021. In 2022, we worked with ITC and Tata and launched their product. So as it is, our tagline is basically, we are food solution provider. We don't have our own brand. We are basically brand behind the brand. So these are the major brands we are representing here in India. Tata, then Incredible Burger for ITC, then Imagine Meat and Blue Tribe. So these are the major TVF we worked upon. So we initiated the work with the low moisture extruded TVF, but gradually we moved to, we tried out high moisture extruded frozen block. This is basically imported. This is basically imported from Ireland. And yeah, this is allergen free also. There is no soya or gluten into it. Yeah, these are the few product on Western concept we worked upon. This is basically nugget, burger patty, both coated, uncoated. And recently we developed one beef patty burger also. It is it is quite similar to Beyond actually. So we have been working for one customer. It will be launched very soon. So these are the Indian ethnic food we have worked upon. These are mainly for Imagine Meat. So here are the key challenges we faced. So as everyone said, it is price is the major challenge. Still, it is a niche market. And Dr. Sudhir, my friend, also told the same thing. So it is still in the niche market, and it has to come into the mainstream. And primarily, it might be because of the prices. So all if you see closely that all RMs except fats are imported, and which incurs 50 to 60% duty. That is actually that is a major incremental cost. So apart from high cost and maintaining inventory of the imported raw material and maintaining inventory within the stipulated shelf life period, it is a real challenge, and we faced particularly during the pandemic period. So sometimes it was stock out, and sometimes we had to waste the material because of the expiry of the raw material. And parallelly, we tried the texturized vegetable from local source as well. But it has major challenges in terms of appearance, taste, and texture. And my personal experience, I will just share on this thing. It is still unclear. It is the local soybean quality is the challenge, or readiness to invest about key soya by the key soya processor is the roadblock. So that is really not clear to me so far, because if I speak to the soya processor, they say that the soya quality is very poor harvesting technique, and during harvesting this quality is damaged. It leads to brown coloration, something like that. So if I talk to the major equipment manufacturer like GIA or Alpha Laval, they say it is a technology, because people are not ready to adopt the right technology and they are not ready to invest in equipment. So it is a mixed response basically. So we need to figure out that. So
And another thing is addressing consumer perception. So people say it is highly processed, it is having a lot of fat, and then it is maybe a high level of salt also. Sometimes the people are passing comments. So another challenge is formulation of the product. So if I go for a high protein formulation using a low moisture TVP, you know, if I compare with the animal protein, say chicken, so it is having stayed away 21% protein. But in the low moisture extruded product, it is having protein, it is having fiber, it is having some kind of starch. We need to add additional fat also in comparison with the animal protein. So balancing out the proper protein content in the product is a real challenge. So opportunity areas we can thrive on. And basically what I see the opportunity, minimize the functional ingredient from the chemical source with some alternative natural ingredient. I was reading somewhere in some pocket of Southeast Asia and China, they've started working in this direction. So we can also think of in the similar way. We feel the high moisture extrusion is the future. Here we have the scope of customization of the formulation and infusing more protein content into the product. And we can reduce the fat content also, I believe, and it will give the better texture above all. And India being a protein deficient country per capita consumption, our primary focus should be formulating on high protein concept rather than our European countries. They are focusing on sustainability. Here, I think major focus should be on the high protein content. So that way, that can be that can be considered as one unique selling point.
Both sustainability as well as protein.
Yes. So considering slow growth in the domestic market, we can focus on export as well. Particularly, we see the opportunity of the red meat category product and our ethnic Indian product like Sikh kebab, biryani, and keemas, all those things. So this is what our major experience in working in this area. So anyone is having question on this thing?
Yeah, thank you so much.
They can.
Thank you so much, Mr. Kundu. It's a pleasure. We have such an amazing organization available here. That is Continental Greenbird. Dr. Keshav Naidu is also here, and very happy to see that such a large number of our members are also present. I see Wesley here, one of the organizations which I was trying to get in Simrise to speak here. Maybe next time we will be able to get them. Somehow could not succeed this time. So Chani is there. Praj is a wonderful organization providing the support. They are also here. They are into the rice machineries and for the plant proteins. Let's West is here. Marine hydrochloride is there. Rishi Raj from Nutraceutical. They are doing amazing work on the guar protein in Jodhpur. And of course, Pedro from Viscofan is there. Umesh Joshi from McDonald is there. Hope to get you all into the room and listen to you. But before that, we have a couple of more speakers left. But first, Keshav.
Yeah, good afternoon all. First, let me start with actually my presentation would be slightly different from all other speakers because now we have started our journey in search of these plant-based protein way back in 2019, and we started knocking on each and every door in search of different running behind this technology, where exactly we can get this information and literature, so on and so forth. And finally we tried contacting equipment suppliers like Gia and also Bueller, so many other guys, and later we came to know that actually we thought of having our own protein extraction and extrusion line, but later we realized that it is very capital intensive project, and our management wanted to reverse integrate the things, so we started searching for the third party supplier. So
Yes,
that's
and now
how
you can partner in all the protein clusters which we have, and you won't
Yes,
have
sir.
to spend too much time because we will take help from the government in terms of subsidies, and we'll also take
yeah.
help from various other organizations which are ready to help. And the technology also has become moved, and we will use our capability to club the entire industry requirement into these 12 clusters and democratize this technology. So how long is your presentation, Keshav?
This is just, I have only 5 slides. I'll quickly run through.
Yes.
Otherwise, without presentation, I can try to
You show the
explain.
presentation. That is good.
Yeah.
Please show.
Yeah, I'll just try to, yeah. Yeah. Can you see my slide?
Yes.
Yeah. So actually, in search of these products, we touched upon different subjects, and as you have given pointers, I have prepared my presentation like ingredient optimization. We looked into this subject protein enrichment is essential as a primary step to increase the protein concentration and also to achieve that scaffolding and functionality of the plant proteins to get closer to the animal proteins. And in the protein if we can achieve this step optimization, then we can able to so many speakers have explained, expressed their concern about the price, because comparatively plant-based meat products are super expensive and exorbitantly high price, and so that's the reason these are the areas where we can focus. It can start from the dehulling and milling of the seeds, wet fractionation, dry fractionation, side stream valorization, because these are the steps where we can focus and try to reduce the process cost, and can have our own texturized proteins and also the protein isolates and concentrates. So right now, we have had issue with the supplies of protein. Like we have contacted Mr. Rohit from Rocket to prepare our recipes to get those texturized proteins. It almost took more than 8 months just to get that small quantity of textured proteins. So that's how we had so many issues. So that's the reason we have gone through so many other subjects like this. So these are the areas where even these protein treatment and modification, I think only ProEon is working in this area where they have their own patented or proprietary chemical treatment process where they will enhance the functionality of the extracted proteins. So there are so many areas where we can focus, and otherwise, the demand for these plant-based products, if we observe, I used to attend this Anuga exhibition from past so many years, but this year what I have observed is the center of attraction is plant-based proteins. Most of the exhibitors have put their stalls, and so that's how I noticed that there is increasing demand for these plant-based meat and other art protein products. So these, if we can focus in these areas, we can, I think, we definitely can reduce the process cost and also the product cost. And unfortunately, except this Rocket and DuPont, there are no other suppliers who can provide you with proteins. Of course, 𝐾𝐢𝐬𝐜𝐿 is there. They only have protein powders, whereas other I think there are no other suppliers who are supplying textured proteins. And HMMA, nobody else, except that if you want to have your own HMMA, you just have to go to the TDU and you will have to put your efforts and develop your own HMMA. Otherwise, like we don't have proper equipment, proper knowledge in this area. And coming to the techniques and technologies, of course, we are still lagging behind in this area. As far as extrusion technology is concerned, of course, these snack industry has been using this technology, and this technology has been adopted by all these guys whoever has entered into this plant-based meat space. And apart from this extrusion and extrusion technology, there are so many other equipments and techniques that are going to come into the market very soon. One of them is macromolecular imaging, where you can see the minute details of the proteins that you want to characterize. So this is one such advanced technology, and also computational protein design. This has been there from long time back, but still RASMAL is one such protein design software, and also 3D structures, everything we can analyze the protein, plant protein that we are going to work on. And coming to another techniques, bioprinting, it is almost similar to 3D printing, but still it is at very nascent stage, and this technology is in its very early stages, and I think it's going to add value to the plant-based foods in future. And apart from these techniques, also AI and machine learning algorithms. There are a few startups which are coming up with plant-based algorithms that can create new plant-based recipes to mimic the animal protein products. So they have collected a lot of data, and based on that data, they can give you recipes. And also there is another company which has developed one more algorithms to learn how biology builds these proteins. So these are the advanced techniques and technologies that are going to come into the market. So next is
but you didn't speak
challenges.
You didn't speak about extrudable fat. I mean,
Yeah. It is for Sorry.
You have such
Yes. Extrudable fat technology. It is almost similar to the extrusion technology, but this is used exclusively for fat modeling, just to mimic very close to the original meat. So these are the technologies, and TVPs, means low moisture extrusion cooking and high moisture extrusion cooking, which has already been used by even
Shiv is coming with his bazooka. Don't worry.
Yes.
He will hit you on that.
Yeah.
He has HMMA.
Has this,
You said there is no HMMA, but Shiv is bringing it. He is our last speaker. We have kept the best thing in the last.
Oh, great. Yeah, and next is the challenges. I have mainly taken these things from whatever I have come across. Like there is a extreme shortage of skill in this specific field. I think I have also come across a research report saying that this skill shortage is there across Asia. So we require a lot of highly skilled machinery operators are required to to operate the extrusion equipment, because without this is not a normal equipment. So we require highly skilled machinery operators and technical workers, protein texturization experts. So without having knowledge of the how the protein powders behave after extrusion, so it will be very difficult to design the products. Okay, so these are the first thing is as far as R&D is concerned, I see there is a skill shortage. Even I couldn't able to find a suitable guy to replace my subordinate. Okay. And coming to the next thing is ingredient shortage. As I have already explained, we have almost waited for more than 8 months to get the textured proteins from Rocket or even DuPont. And so, as the market for these products is going to increase in future, I think the demand for these products is also going to increase exponentially. And I think without having proper roadmap, I think we may, I mean, we are not going to have, kind of difficult, I mean, ingredient shortage in terms of, quality, quantity, and also and the biggest bottleneck what I see is even there are so many pulses and other things. The processing capacity. We don't have protein extraction units in India. We don't have, except that B-Veg, we don't have protein extrusion units in India. So to mitigate those things, I think we should have a proper plan, and probably you guys like PBFIA can talk to different business people and can fill those gaps. And also, like, when it comes to the development of product, what we major challenge is around creating the right structure and creating the correct appearance, and also the recreating that meat-like flavor. So these are the serious issues that we have been facing. That's the reason we have finally thought of going with a third-party manufacturer, and so we tried to collaborate with Mr. Vista first, but unfortunately we have contacted Kunduji also, and later we came to know that CHATHA is also stepping into these kind of products, and finally we have collaborated with June, and then finally we have launched our products recently.
I will speak to you offline sometime.
Yes. Okay. So these are the issues, and as far as the supply chain challenges are concerned, I think I have very limited knowledge, but what I can see is from a food safety point of view, I think we don't have right now, because most of these products are either frozen or refrigerated, except that Tata Simply Better is the only product available in the domestic market, which is shelf stable and ambient, which can be stored at ambient temperature. So
IT is there in the webinar. 𝐒𝐩𝐬𝐬𝐢𝐧 𝐏𝐻 is there, so he's listening. If ITC looks at this supply chain problem, it can really be solved. They are very big in solving the supply chain of all food products.
So I think many organizations should look for these, automation and blockchain technology to curb these food safety issues. So that's all from my side. Thank you. If you have any questions, I will be pleased to answer.
So I'll bring in Dr. Anuradha Nambiar, a person who is the principal scientist for technology at TCG CREST. TCG, as you know, is one of the big corporation in India. Is that the CHATHA group? They are into hydrocarbons, but let's find out what are they doing in this sector. Anuradha.
Good afternoon, rather good evening to all. So I'm Dr. Anuradha.
There is lot of mystery around TCG. What is TCG doing? Everybody wants to know. So give us some more glimpse.
So I'm Dr. Anuradha, working as principal scientist for TCG CREST, Kolkata. So I have worked 10 years on the protein production space as an ingredient. So recently I've joined TCG CREST to develop the protein-based plant, the pilot plant facility for the production of protein from various sources. So to start with, to get the best results with protein as an ingredient, we have to start right with the right protein. So having said that, I've been hearing from many speakers here in this forum about the flavor profile, about the price of the final product that is there in the market. So I would like to focus on the challenges that we face when we produce the protein in a plant. So the challenge starts right from the harvesting of the raw material to the storage of the raw material in various conditions. So what are the different changes that happens to the raw material? If it is a oil seed, there are a lot of unsaturated fatty acids that are there in the raw material, which get oxidized on storage if it is not properly stored. So the off flavor starts from right there. So once we produce the protein from such a raw material, the final product that comes out of such oxidized product will also taste very bad. The flavor turns off right from the protein as an ingredient. So how much of it we try to mask the flavor of the protein in the meat application, it will never reach to the stage where it will be accepted by all. So we need to focus on areas even before trying to mask the flavor of the protein. We need to find out what are the challenges that we face when we talk about the protein production. So the first thing, as I was telling, it is from the harvesting stage and to the storage conditions of these protein or the raw material as such. So how do you reduce these off flavors or off notes or oxidation process that is happening on the raw material or the protein is to reduce oxygen level in the storage space or to store the raw material at a very low temperature. These are all very these are all very investment based process. So that's one of the point that I want to highlight here, why the protein is so costly when we produce it in India, because the storage of the raw material, from the storage of the raw material, from the production and right to the final product, every process is very costly because of the changes that is happening in these products once we extract the protein from the raw material. So this is one of the point. And the next point that I would like to highlight is the protein isolation method. There are different methods right now available for the production of protein from various raw materials. So how do we fine tune the production for the protein? So that depends on what type of functionality you will need in your protein, whether it is a solubility that you're looking for, whether it's a foaming capacity that you're looking for, or the emulsification capacity of the protein that you're focusing on. So your production protocol has to be fine-tuned according to the functionality that you're looking for of the protein in your final application. Also, the third point is the protein structure as such. When I talk about the protein structure, there are different amino acids that make up a protein. So there are certain amino acids that bind very strongly with the flavor molecules. Some amino acids do not bind to the flavor molecules so efficiently. So there are specific amino acid profile like cysteine, lysine, and arginine which bind very strong to the flavor molecules. So we need to choose a protein which has a link of all these amino acids to give you the better flavor in a final product. So how do we, and there are also oxidation products happening or oxidation off notes which comes out of this raw material or the protein product. So how do we mitigate this oxidation? So there are various methods that you can think of when you think about producing a functional protein. First thing is to reduce oxygen level in your storage area of the raw material or the protein product, or to store in the low temperature go downs, or add the antioxidants which reduce oxidation of the unsaturated fatty acids that are there, or inactivation of the enzymes which modify the lipids that are there in this raw material. And also to talk about the breakdown products from amino acids like asparagine and glutamine. These are amino acids which undergo non-enzymatic hydrolytic reaction, which liberates aspartic acid and glutamic acid. But in this process, it also liberates ammonia. So when it liberates ammonia, the whole flavor of the protein changes. So this I have faced myself because I was in a company where we were into the production of the protein. So we used different raw materials from lentils, chickpea, green gram. So we had a whole range of raw materials for protein production. But the main thing here is like all proteins don't go into all the applications. There are very specific proteins for meat application, very specific proteins when you talk about the protein drink, or very specific proteins when you talk about the protein bar. So there are different types of proteins which are useful in different applications. And all this has to be studied even before we think about a protein product in the market. So there are so many challenges in this line, from the price to the functionality of the protein that goes into the final application. So as one of the speaker was pointing out, is it the specific crop quality is the roadblock, or is it the readiness in investment in processing? So what I want to highlight here is it is both, because there is a lot of investment that is happening in the production lines of proteins, which many are not interested also. And also the specific crop quality. The crop quality also plays a major role in giving you the best functional protein which will be helpful in your final application. So I want to suggest here that a lot of investment needs to be done in the protein production lines than in the final product line. I know there are many people who work on the final product, like meat application and protein drinks, protein bars, and so many other products that are there in the market. But how many of us are focusing on the production lines of protein? So we need a more focus on these lines of production of protein, so that we improve the quality of the protein that is coming out, and then we could add a lot of flavors and whatever you want to add to it, which will give you the best product that will be more appealing to the people. So that is the point I want to focus in this session. Focus on the quality of the protein that you produce, and then we can focus on the final flavor or the final texture or whatever it is that you're looking for in your final application. So that's a short note from my end.
Thank you so much, Anuradha. Varun, you don't know that many people don't know that you have 3D technology. Yeah? You are the only one who put 3D technology in India. So we have the co-founder of 𝐶spire, Varun Garodia. So Varun, don't you feel bad that nobody knows you?
So in this, for your information, in DCG CREST, we are trying to put up a Center of R&D facility in Kolkata, which will start functional by mid-2023. So we are trying to exploit all indigenous materials available locally for the production of proteins. So my main focus will be producing the best functional protein ever in India, because most of the proteins that we use today is coming from outside, and that is the junk part of the cost that we inherit finally in the final product.
Yeah, thank you so much. Sorry, Varun, we brought you late. 50 people have already gone, but I can promise you that this video is going to go viral.
Not a worry.
There is so much of value in this video, and we still have about 100 people. So you go ahead, floor is yours, and tell us why you chose 3D technology over extrusion. Yeah? Everybody is going for extrusion. You are the only one who is ekla chalo, taking your own path. Is it better? I mean, is the mouthfeel or the texture better?
Definitely, Sanjay. So, first of all, thanks for having 𝐶spire today on the panel. It was a great, session for past 1.5 hours or so to listen to so many perspectives from the experts. To your question to why we started with 3D printing, like on an extruder side, I've kind of, I've had my past working experience on plant-based meat analogs, high moisture extrusion. The only kind, no matter how many recipes you can change or go through, you just get one kind of product. And it's good to say that, you are doing a chicken or a pork or a, mutton analog, which is high moisture extruded, you can still not differentiate between, different cuts. But when we started, 𝐶spire, we wanted to really mimic the very characteristic flaky texture of seafood. And, every fish species is very different from each other. I would be doing a crab meat, I would be doing a, maybe a salmon fillet, like Indian salmon ravas, like everyone, just misconcepts it's for a traditional, Pacific salmon. Everything has a very different texture and appearance. And until we had those organoleptic properties of a product, we are not able to make a big cut into the plant-based or the wider alternative protein space. So with 𝐶spire, the bigger vision for us was to lead the R&D space and be a technology enabler into the plant-based seafood space, or rather plant-based meat space. We just don't want to do a brand play where we are just a food manufacturing company and, promoting our brand for one of the best products, because obviously, when we go out, talk to our customers, even in our first family and friend circle, everyone comes and asks that how are you going to compete against likes of ITC and Tata, who have already got the products? And we are like, okay, they have got the distribution, they have got the buying power. Maybe they do 100 other things better than us, but we are doing one thing better than them, is to bring in a better product into the market. And by that, I would like to say that we are not only working on a competitive product, but we are also working on enabling technologies that can support the ecosystem. We don't want to create a competition. We want to support the industry. So that's where, 3D printing, building our own, manufacturing system for it, building our own, R&D ecosystem on how we start with a single fragment of protein to an end product, an end-to-end solution based on, not only 3D printing, but also some on the biotech side of things. That's what 𝐶spire is mainly about. I'll quickly start with, if time permits, I will quickly present 2 or 3 slides just to, present our broader spectrum and some of our products that we are doing.
Yes. Please go ahead. Maybe Hitesh is getting ready for a rebuttal, so don't go away.
Yeah. Is my presentation? Okay, I'll just a second. Can you see my screen?
Okay, Hitesh, you want to come in while he is getting ready?
Is my screen visible? Sanjay?
Yeah. Visible.
Right. So I won't go into the presentation mode. I'll just quickly go through my slides from this one. So essentially, what our consumers are missing is the characteristic seafood flavor bomb.
You can go presentation mode. That will be good.
Oh, sure. Just a second. So yeah, current products, I think over here, I would like to highly highlight the progress that Indian startups are kind of missing, product differentiation. Most of the startups we are still seeing on the plant-based meat space, we are getting the same line of products, be it plant-based kebabs, plant-based hot dogs, or plant-based burgers. We are not getting the plant-based curry cuts that can go into our regular curries or biryanis. And the other thing is that, it's quite easy to do products like burger patty and hot dogs, but it's really not what our market wants. Our market wants the products that can easily go to the consumer's daily habits. And these products are still missing on characteristics, texture, and the flavor and nutrition. We all have spoken about that. So many number of additives go into these products that consumers don't really want these. Looking on what we are trying to achieve with our technologies is a very beautiful looking piece of fish done only with plants. So this is a product that we have done on our proprietary 3D printing platform. And we are fortunate to have a R&D space in New Zealand where we are currently leveraging not only a strong R&D ecosystem, but also looking at some of the native plants that can offer a characteristic texture like seafood.
And we tested it. All PBFIA team members tested it.
Definitely. And more to come. Over the next few months, we are bringing in more and more products to the market. So in a nutshell, what we are trying to solve is a big product parity gap when it comes to delivering the right texture and flavor. Structuring processes are essential, as I think a lot of speakers have spoken about, how we can move ahead from extrusion and look into more novel technologies like 3D printing and some of the other technologies. But obviously, the ecosystem is fairly young. We need more and more investments and the talent to bring that all up, and especially with the lens of scalability. I mean, we don't want solutions that don't cater to the mass scale or the mass demand where we can actually create the impact. So we have to be very realistic and pragmatic about the solutions we develop and look at the backward integration of our agriculture, how agriculture supplies can bring the scale that's required. So I won't go into team introduction, but that's myself and my co-founder Shantanu, who puts up in Mumbai, and we are advised by some of the leading industry experts by likes of Impossible Foods and some other organizations. So this is one of our current product that's actually going into the market across some of the B2B partners in Delhi and Bombay. Plant-based fish fingers made with only 8 ingredients, all clean label, offering a flaky texture as you all can see into the picture, and nutrition packed with allergen-free, all the vitamins, and obviously a higher omega-3 profile, which is actually a must in a seafood alternative. Our traction currently, we are putting up a more of a B2B introduction through some of the food service doors in Delhi and Bombay. We have done some consumer trials and looking at some distribution interest for our products. So taste, texture, and nutrition, this is how we have been rated on our products. So I'll just end my presentation over here and happy to have any questions.
Yashaswini. So Yashaswini is the co-CEO of Mycovation, and they have a wonderful novel ingredient, mycoprotein. And so this is something that we can use a great technology. We can really skip extrusion completely and use mycoproteins directly with other plant-based ingredients to achieve the texture of meat. This is
Thank you very much.
absolutely a good way of reducing the high capital cost and processing cost. So over to you, Yashaswini.
Thank you very much, Sanjay sir. So it's a pleasure presenting Mycovation here. So I'll just quickly share the screen so that I don't take much time. So are you all able to see the screen? Is my screen visible?
Not yet.
No, not yet.
Now?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay. So Mycovation is a fungal fermentation startup. So with all the plant-based talk that has been going on for last 1.5 hours, and it's been very insightful and interesting to know about how India is progressing in innovating and inventing new protein sources, at the same time offering solutions to texturize it and better mimic the conventional food products. So we are a COVID startup, so we launched the R&D here in India, and we switched over to be a Singaporean company because we raised funds in Singapore. At the same time, we have now expanded in South Korea. So we are expanding throughout the Southeast Asian cities right now. And with the excitement that I would like to bring in, that we are transforming mycelium, that's the root part of the mushrooms, into novel food ingredients, and by using fermentation technology. We are placing ourselves as a B2B company. So we offer ingredient solutions to various end applications, including that of plant-based meat alternatives, and another source of meat itself, which can be a whole cut meat analog. So everybody is covered all the raising concerns and issue when it comes to plant-based meat products, be it the environmental crisis, sustainability, and also the ethical issues that's given rise to the surge in protein, plant-based meat application demand. However, taste and health and nutrition remains the primary concern. So, and with this, it is also the affordability of the product. So when you don't bring in the price parity between the conventional meat products to that of the plant-based or cellular meat products, then consumers do not switch or transition into consuming these offerings that we have. And ultimately, it also depends on the environmental impact, which nobody knows yet. So with that, fermentation derived, which is the third wing of the alternative proteins, have a wide offerings. And like Novozymes has already spoken, that the enzymes derived out of fermentation has a better applications in plant-based solutions to improve the texture, taste, flavoring. Likewise, we came across mushrooms. Mushrooms have known to improve the taste and texture, and is also mimicked as the meat product or fake meat product. And that's when we came up with an idea of why not use mushrooms at the same time fermentation technology to improve the quality of plant-based solutions. So technically what we do is we ferment different plant sources with mycelium, and the output is it has a better flavor, umami flavor, which you don't have to use the synthetic or chemically produced ingredient. This is all natural because the mushroom mycelium secretes all of these functional molecules. At the same time, it is minimally processed. It's a two-step process: fermentation, drying, and milling into making it to a flour kind of an application. The ingredient is versatile. Depending on which strain of mushroom we use and the substrate, we can develop end applications depending on whether it's a functional beverage or a meat product or a health bar. So there is various end application that we can think of. And mycelium can also offer solutions to produce mycofats. And with this, we have launched a product called Mix. Mix is a range of ingredients. These are fermented plant-based solutions. And our second range of product is Mimic. Here we are coming with whole cut mycelium analogs that can represent the sliced fish fillet, or even better, depending on the strain, it could be a whole chunk of chicken. So just like how I mentioned, it's the root of mushrooms. They have innate enhanced taste, texture properties, and are highly customizable. Depending on the time duration, you can increase the protein concentration, you can improve the functional molecules in them. At the same time, the whole process is very sustainable, wherein we use very little resources. And we've already done, just like how earlier speaker spoke about, we have to differentiate the end application and the taste and texture profile depending on the geographical demand. So we tried to develop products suitable for Korean market, at the same time Singaporean market, and also Indian market. And across these markets, we've received good review, wherein our ingredients could be used in end applications with about 80% of the acceptability towards taste. And the ingredients are interesting because not just the taste factor, but it also has a better binding and extrusion properties. However, we need to figure out to improve the texture aspect when it comes to the end application. And that is something that we are looking for, to collaborate with the industry players existing here in India, wherein they can use our ingredients to develop their end applications. So with that, I would just like to end the presentation with a short note. Thank you. And the space of plant-based meat is growing in India, and contributing to this space is our pleasure.
Thank you so much. Yashaswini, very impressed of your work, and wish you good luck, not only for India, but for all the region. And now, 𝐾𝐢𝐬𝐬𝐢𝐵, we are very proud of you. The only HMMA manufacturer from that providing the technology world. So over to you. So as a compensation, you are the last speaker, so I can give you a little bit extra time. What is yours?
Thank you, Sanjay. Thank you. We started in the afternoon and now we are at the evening. So good evening, everybody. I'm here to today talk about this, as Sanjay mentioned, that high moisture meat in a lag about it. I'm Shiv Mudliar, a founder and CEO of Vedanta, a food tech startup based out of Bangalore, and focusing on high moisture meat in a lag, producing and only in 3 basic level of a design, develop, deliver kind of a model, which is the first of its kind in India. Needless to say, I think we made it the first in India to come up with that. The very reason we started this project is that since 2017, 4 of our think-alike friends, having worked in the food processing sector, especially in extrusion technology for more than 16 years, have come up with this conclusion. As Keshav, Varun, Dr. Nambiar, everybody were eagerly waiting it for, that we have got a one-stop solution for the plant-based meat and high moisture meat in a lot, especially from the end-to-end solution of that, developing our in-house technology from our own extrusion, twin screw extrusion, along with that injection screw system to end user's product. If at all, if you see at that, I'm closely observing the international plant-based food market here in India as well. Most of them, everybody lack into that it is performance gap in the product. Can it be a Beyond Meat or Impossible Burger? If you look at that, recently I had an Impossible Burger in Dubai, and it's surely it's having a thermocol effect. It's nothing against to them. I just wanted to bring an insight here so that we all gain some kind of a knowledge to make it better in our product. That's all about it. So what we are trying to do here is that we are setting up 15,000 square foot of a plant here in Hoskote industrial area here in Bangalore, and we have in-house technology which is tin screw extrusion, but modified with as per our requirement, IP protected process and flow. And a very novel ingredient. I don't think that it is, I'll have to hide it here because Indra knows already, Sanjay knows, Nirhari knows, and also I'm going to get in a very unique novel raw materials of jackfruit, combination of a jackfruit flour and plant lentils. That is a sea lentils, that is a very unique, is going to get it from here, which is going to give a, for sure, a fantastic texture. And this thing that, because of Sanjay has made me to talk for midnight till 12 o'clock, that I bought I bought the sample itself, that whole cut product of it. We have achieved the complete prototype, highly fibrous, and it can be added into that. It's, you cannot have it in a blind taste. You can't find it, which is real animal meat and the product meat, that kind of a level. So we do not want to jump into this business of doing any kind of a TVP converted products of nuggets or minces or kebabs. Nothing against about any players here. We are very much concerned about that. We know what this extrusion is all about. We breathe extruders day in out for 16 long years, and we know that closing eyes, and we know how the protein plays inside this thing. This confidence has made us to wait and come into the industry, and we might be launching our product with the regional specific cuisine, not a continental of a sausages, salamis, and burger patties, but we wanted to get a real functional food which can play into an Indian consumer's kitchen every day now. They don't have to add anything. It's going to be RTC category, and it's just one QR code scanner will give you the complete insight about an educational video. It's a simple. So to get into some tough challenge that you will have to wait for, we waited for more than 5 years, spent quite a bit of money and time, and now here we will be here, and by mid of 2023, our market fit product will come. I just underline this. This is a real market fit product. Yes. Because the reason of that, any product has been launched in that, it will be in first, it will come into my R&D lab for a sensory. So we find every company to companies of a product performance gap. We analyzed it clearly, and we are entering. So it's not nothing to lock horns with Tatas or anybody. When you are confident about it, because you know the technology, you know the product, and you know the market. Sanjay sir knows about that. It doesn't know where I come from and which background that. So we know the pulse of each and every market, and the technology, just binding it together. We wanted to bring the best in India, because 1.4 billion consumers to talk about it. That either can be vegetarian or flexitarian or vegans, or converting vegans to a non-vegans. Everything is in now and now. And Sanjay sir is just he's going in forward, and we all are following. It was quite so excited to associate with PBFIA, and I would be able to tell you something more by couple of months later. As of now, my prototype is ready, my plant is getting ready, my in-house custom machinery, made in India extruder, twin screw extruder is what my specialty is. I don't have to depend on Coperian or the cholesterol Coperian Buellers to charge by 3 times. I made my machinery thanks to COVID and other way around, and sitting into a factory and greasing my hands and building own machinery custom has given a lot of confidence to get the product out. We have tested our product with high-profile culinary experts, highest executive chefs, Park Plaza's executive chef kind of top industry expertise. They have given a lot of a thumbs up to us. And interestingly to say that I have not yet started my commercial production yet, but somebody is ready to consume my whole capacity. They are ready to sign up with me, but I don't want to go ahead with that kind of a thing. Once I set up a plant, another thing. So don't want to tell much about my product at this moment, but all industry as a plant-based meat industry space is struggling to get a quality manpower, and there is a huge talent crunch. Everybody can agree about it. That's the very reason that we could not able to get rockets, and DuPont will come and put their hands in our pocket by taking double, but we are capable enough here in India to develop our own ingredients, raw material. India is a huge resource of a protein. We can able to convert it by anything. If we can able to make Sundar Pichai to sit on top there by sitting here from Chennai to there, why can't we do it in a protein extraction here itself that it is give a tough to everybody in the globally? That's what my agenda is. Interestingly, that Sanjay sir is helping us, a lot of us, and we four of the founders come from a very strong background of food processing sector, but icing on the cake is Sanjay sir is supporting us. That's what all about right now. And very soon I will be able to put my product samples in front of you all to talk about it more. And this disruptive technology and the market fit products are going to be a game changer in the plant-based meat sector for sure. That's all about it. I'm going to end it here. My contact details are mentioned here, and Sanjay sir knows very well about it. Please do reach out to me, any kind of a support. We are young budding entrepreneurs. We give and take the knowledge and technology transfer everything. Let's grow together this sector. That's all about it.
Thank you, Shiv. Truly proud of you. And we are now completing about 1 year of PBFIA, and it's a good. I'm really anxious to know how we performed. In your opinion, we have a question. For questions. So before we summarize today's webinar, I will first bring in Narahari to ask a question, and then simultaneously Hitesh Dubey from ITC to kindly come in and
Hello everyone, I'm Hitesh. Can you hear me?
Yes.
Yeah. So thank you very much for the insightful presentations and talks that you guys have given. I would want to understand from you guys more about the consumer interactions or the consumer work which would have happened on the front end, and why the adoption rates with respect to plant-based meat are lower in India. Like, for example, Mr. Kundu from Vista, they are involved in plant-based products with various companies.
I will call you.
Hello.
Yeah, continue. It is continue.
Yeah. So they have exposure to a lot of companies and the products in market. How are they finding it out that it is faring? And if it is not picking up, is there an issue with respect to product or the real consumer need? Just now, Mr. Mudaliar also spoke about the product fit, okay, and how the product fared across in their consumer test. So, what are the kind of things that he believes that has made the product better, which would be better for adoption by the consumer? So, I would want to understand. I would want to know people's views on the consumer side of it. Thank you.
Yeah. So before
I'd like to answer for this, Sanjay.
Yeah. So before I ask Let's Wes to come in and talk about this, Vishal is there. I want to know, Umesh, you would also echo something similar? Umesh Joshi from McDonald's is also here.
Hello.
Yes, Umesh.
Can you repeat the question, please?
Yeah, so Umesh, we had a question from ITC that why is it not, taking off the way that ITC had expected in India? Do you also have a similar question? I remember we shared the dais and you had something similar to say in Mumbai. So would you like to give your opinion on how plant-based food sector has been doing in India?
We have taken a couple of trials basically, but in terms of non-veg customer shifting to
to plant-based is a very difficult, because here is a chicken base. Had it been beef or any other, then it was much easier, as it is outside of India. And then comes to second is in terms of nutrition, taste, and pricing. So nutrition may be matching, but in terms of taste, somewhere it matches, somewhere some more work to be done, and definitely in terms of pricing, it's not matching as of now. So if I am, let's say, if I am buying chicken at a rate of 310 rupees, okay, and then adding it in that, it will go much value basically. Okay, I am definitely looking for a more value added product, and then it can be blended for some time, or maybe individual product can be serviced to the customers. I think as a all the ecosystem, we need to work to bring the economies of the scale in the raw material, so that value added product, much more value added product can be given at sustainable pricing to the customers.
Yes, great. Chetan, you would like to come in, or Amit Bajaj, would you like to make a comment here? Amit Bajaj is one of the oldest in this sector from Let's.
Yeah, hi, I'm Prerna this side.
Hi, Prerna. Prerna is from Let's. She is the director of Let's of Wesley.
Yeah. So actually, I would like to thank PBFIA and Sanjay especially, for giving us so much information and such a good platform to hear about the talks from so many eminent speakers. So we established our company in 2010, and we are into making mock meat, and we manufacture more than 40 variety of diversified products. And at moment, we have crossed more than 2,500 retail stores in India. And what is the main thing we emphasize on is we manufacture all our products through extrusion, high moisture texturized protein, and following strict production protocols in our factory premises. So all our products are different from each other. And what I mostly emphasize on is supporting the environment and the ecosystem to a great extent. And Vegli for the next year, or maybe for this coming year, has great ambition and great plans to venture. And the most important thing which I would like to comment is that the future of food in India is growing a lot. And we want to encourage consumers to continue to make choices that are good for their health and planet.
Great.
Thank you.
Thank you, Prerna.
Prerna, is the site, like for example, you said you ventured in the market in 2010.
Yes.
Do you see the demand or the consumer adopting such products? Is the target customer most probably is a non-vegetarian who would want to make a switch? Do you find that particular idea resonating with the consumer and fast picking up?
We are working on that idea, and our main aim is that we are not compromising on the taste. So when we launch our products, we make it a point that the products are according to the taste, because each and every state has a different taste. And my product is not only just, for the non-veg people to convert into veg, but for the veg people who can also afford and eat. I hope this satisfies your question. Hello?
Okay, yes.
Thank you.
Anyone else who would like to come in?
Thank you so much, Sanjay.
Here? You're welcome. Anybody else who would like to come in here? Is Krishna Das here? Is Krishna Das still here? I think he has left. Okay. So to say it in a brief, I would say that the answer to your question is yes and no. While it is true that 4.5 kilogram of meat and 1 kilogram of seafood, so it makes about 5.5 kilogram of meat consumption in India, maybe it has gone up to 6 kilogram per capita meat consumption. It is rising at a very fast pace. Unfortunately, it is rising because youngsters are liking meat. It will go to maybe 10 or 15 kilogram per capita. When it will go 5 years, 10 years, 15 years, we don't know, but we see it's rising. So while we wanted to make amazing products for the non-vegetarians so that they can quit meat, while this is happening, some of the vegetarians are also liking the product. So sometimes we are also accused of that, are we training vegetarians to first taste plant-based meat and then go for the meat? So all those different kind of questions are coming from all directions. So I look at it from this angle that internet was invented for defense purposes and finally we are using it. And every technology goes through a cycle like this, that initially we plan for something and more options also come out. So we have seen that this technology has a lot of meaning to a lot of people, and they are definitely going to make more amazing products, which will not only be meat-like so that people can leave meat, but also there will be many products which will be for vegetarians so that they can try those vegetarian tasting product, and some of them would have otherwise become non-vegetarians if they had not tasted products like this. So you have products like soya nuggets, you have products like jackfruit, you have products like soya chop. They fall into that category, and we have seen that they have become popular in the past. And now is the time for us to replace hara bhara kebab and go for the such products which people really find it very tasty. It is not just the meaty tasty, it's a very unique texture which vegetarians also like, not necessarily that they would become non-vegetarian. So you have people of all kinds around us, and we are focused on ensuring that the food has to be sustainable and food has to be healthy and food has to be more humane and ethical. We can't be slaughtering billions of animals every year. So we have to find out ways of providing nutritious food to people, tasty food to people, and which is very wholesome. So if you see today's presentations, we had one after another, about 15 speakers, and we started with the basic presentation in various ways that the plant protein can be extracted. We spoke about protein isolates, concentrates by chemicals and enzymes, like what Nozan told us, and also the mechanical ways. So it's very important that whether we use the extrusion or we graduate to twin screw extrusions, like Dr. Gurmeet was mentioning, or we have now these technologies which he said that you have the option of converting to TVP or HMMA, the high moisture meat analog. And then somebody spoke about bioprinting. I don't know, Dr. Keshav, I don't know personally much about that, but yes, 3D printing has been now realized. So Swer spoke about that, and ShearCell, and there are also companies like Shandy Global and Vedanta, and they are making just such great waves. They are making the manufacturing equipment, and they are establishing the product differentiation. So we heard a lot about innovation today. Samega is one of my favorite companies. And of course, you had Carey, you had Vista, you had CHATHA Foods. I mean, they are supporting all the industries. They're doing more work than many other organizations put together. And people didn't speak about NIFTAM and such institutions. Their role is very, very invisible. So we recognize that, and we shouldn't forget the amazing flavor emulsion technology that JBT was talking about, and the leading player like Carey, who are providing absolutely unraveled texturized solutions. So it's very good that Wakao or even Continental Greenbird they are using, such innovative local ingredients, whether it is jackfruit or pea protein and things like that. So I personally tasted Continental Greenbird's kebab, plant-based kebab. It's so juicy, so tasty. All the PBFIA team members tasted it during the IFF. I'm sure Dr. 𝐾𝐢𝐬𝐜𝐬𝐜 would have also tasted it. And venturing into such players like Burger King and of course McDonald's and ITC, it really makes us feel very good. ITC, not only ITC, even Tata. I mean, such big organizations are there. And now Chatterjee Group also said that we are coming up with the state-of-the-art R&D facility for plant proteins in Kolkata. So we have learned so much. And also microvation, I shouldn't forget, Yashaswini, that how fermentation can support the plant-based meat industry in terms of improving not only taste but also nutrition. So, ladies and gentlemen, thank you very much for joining us for this detailed masterclass, which we have been around here for about 2-3 hours, and we will have more sessions. There will be daily sessions. So don't forget that you have to come for AHAR. You can display there, and we will have our own summit on 22nd, 23rd, around that May. And of course, AHAR is on 14th of March, so you should definitely be there. Today, we asked some questions also, and in this, we saw that 64%, that means almost 2/3 vegetarians, they are focusing on their products on vegetarians, and slightly more than 1/3 are focused on non-vegetarians. And we also asked about whether the plant-based foods will be able to mimic the exact taste. And they said, 2/3 said, yes, it will be able to mimic the exact taste, and 1/3 are still skeptical about it. And on PBFIA's role, I'm very happy to announce you, although the number of participants participated were slightly less, but because it was asked towards the end, but 91% people felt that PBFIA did what it was set out to do in the first year, and that's why we have now 91 members. So it's very good that you feel this way. So you go and get others into the room. So those who have not yet taken the membership, they should take the membership, guide the whole sector, join the plant protein cluster in Bhiwadi, which will be state-of-the-art kitchen and the state-of-the-art ingredients processing center. And of course, there will be HMMA, TVP, all this for the industry, by an independent SPV. And these are the things that we are going to have. And when the summit comes in May, on 22nd and 23rd of May, you would find that like last time, everybody was so happy to be a part of the summit. And this time again, the same thing will happen. We'll have one more conference during AHAR on the first day of AHAR on 14th March in Pragati Nadan, where not only APIDA would be leading it, but also PhD Chamber of Commerce and Franchise India would also be a part of that. And it gives me a great pride that we have an excellent team of Medha Gupta, Aditi Sharma, Indra, and Narahari, and of course now Sethi also supported us as an intern. Thank you very much for all the speakers. You have been amazing. Thank you very much.
Thank you, sir. Thank you. Thank you so much.
Thank you, sir. We have to say a lot of thanks to you, and your team has taken the step forward to putting all of us together. It's wonderful, sir. Thanks a lot
Thank
again.
you. And
Thank
goodbye,
you,
everybody.
Thank you.